Hi guys, and welcome to another special look at the assault class in PvP, and it's your host, Peabutnutterninja. So guys, being an assault means that you're usually leading a charge or pushing into enemy territory, but do so smartly and with support. You can see right here I'm looking for teammates, I'm heading out looking for a medic. I don't see one, so I see recon, I'm like, he's gonna stay far back. But I see assault far off in the distance, and I say, hey, he's my buddy, I'm gonna stick with him. And if you run in by yourself, you're going to get owned. The assault has no defensive capabilities, and unless you want a deathmatch between a recon, if you're just running into the enemy army, you're just gonna get owned. So as you expect, assault is a very mobile, a very offensive class with little to no healing capabilities. If you get a healer to follow you, you can do extremely well. And as a group, you'll see in this episode, if you stick with your team, you'll do much better than just running in. You can see me getting my first kill, that recon by himself on that rock out in the open, and that was an easy pick off for me. So I touched upon this point with my PvE video, but if you nail a straight on target shot, you'll be rewarded with a 500 plus damage hit. Otherwise, you only get a partial damage hit, like maybe 300, 250 damage, depending on how far from that splash center the hit is. So if you're having a lot of trouble getting the speed of the projectile and the angle of the projectile, especially with assault, since there's quite a bit of drop off after a little distance. If you're having trouble hitting your targets, definitely try to hit the enemy's landing zone. You can only jetpack for so long, and the enemy's going to have to touch down at some point. So if you're employing this method, just hope that you kill them before they kill you, because they can get a lot of good shots off while they're flying off in the air. And you can see me chasing this medic, and he's just flying away, and he's trying to get that heals, and I can't chase him. And I see the engineer, he's by himself. And you see him get picked, obviously. That medic's still running, and finally gets picked off by my teammate's assault rifle. And the assault rifle is actually a great secondary for assault, because with the plasma cannon you get both short range and long range, but it's very hard to get a lot of accuracy long range due to the slow speed of the projectile. So having assault rifle as a secondary, and using a scattergun as a secondary to the primary weapon. Unfortunately, I don't showcase the scattergun here. I'm too much of a noob, and I don't realize how good it is when I'm recording these first videos. But the scattergun is amazing for PvP. So guys, it unlocks at level 2, so if you get that option, definitely try it out. It's great for close range. Each bullet does about 60 damage, and so shoots about 7 bullets, 60 damage each. So if you get a nice close scattergun off, that's definitely useful. So I'm going to talk about 4 things with assaults that would really help your gameplay, and I see a lot of beginner assaults doing these taboo things to do. So number 1, do not run off on your own. Stick with your teammates. You're not invincible. Contrary to what the name implies, assaults are not supposed to be assaulting by themselves. They work great with a medic. They work great with recon cover fire. They work great with a dreadnought tanking all the fire right next to them. But as by themselves, if you're attacking 2 or 3 guys, you're just going to get owned. You have no defensive skills at all. And so point number 2 is, you can see I'm having a lot of trouble hitting this guy. If you're having trouble aiming, hit where they're going to land. They're gonna have to hit the ground at some point. You can see I'm having trouble aiming, so I'm hitting the ground where he's landing, and you see me miss that crater drop. And if I had crater dropped into a bad location, like right in front of that turret, that would put me in a really bad spot. So that brings me to point number 3, is not crater into mobile enemies. You can crater into turrets, into stations. You see me suicide right there. You can crater into the stations, and you can crater into turret setup bases, and you can do massive damage to that turret without taking any damage. But if some guy's running around and you try to crater, most often or not, they can jetpack above it, or they can just sidestep your crater, because it does take some time for that drop to come down. So that's the thing I see a lot of new assaults doing. They do crater drops right onto enemies, only to get dodged by the enemy and killed. Crater dropping makes all the enemies focus on you. It's a huge radius. You can hear the assault yell something crazy like, "I'm dropping on you," and just with that, all the enemies start to focus on you. Look at me, I crater drop at the wrong time, at the wrong spot. I'm lucky to have medic with me to heal me, otherwise that enemy medic would have just killed me right there. So I'm very, very lucky to have had that happen. You can see me trying to kill this assault. I'm having trouble, so I'm hitting where he's landing, and I'm reloading, and oh, I get the final shot on him. I go for the execute, but I'm getting gunned down by this dread. I don't have that range, I don't have that accuracy. I get gunned down. So number 4 for assault tips is do not overextend. This kind of relates to number 1 where you don't run off on your own, but especially even if you're with your team, you might get real confident. You think that with the medic you're invincible, but you're actually not. You see crater dropping into a bad area. You see all the enemies focusing their fire, dreadnought, a recon, and a medic. Again, that if you crater drop in the wrong area, it's just gonna focus fire on you. And especially if you're fighting against a great recon, he'll take that opportunity to just headshot you right as you hit the ground. And I love doing that as a recon personally. But again, this goes back to point 4. Do not overextend. Even if you're with a team, run back behind cover. Regroup with your teammates. If you're just running off, running into them, running straight into their spawn point, the enemy's definitely going to have an overwhelming advantage, and you're just going to handicap your team. And so actually, there are 5 points I wanted to cover, and the 5th point is, as with any fighting class, always target their medics first if you can. You know, while the big guy with the big gun can seem intimidating, you'll need to focus down the medics if you want to win. That medic can just keep healing that big guy, that dreadnought, forever, and you know, you won't make any progress if you don't kill the medics first. And this goes same with recon and everybody. You just definitely want to focus on the medics, otherwise you're just gonna handicap yourself. So assault PvP strategies: do not run off on your own. If you have trouble aiming, shoot landing spots. Do not crater drop into mobile enemies. Do not overextend, and focus down the medics. These are 5 tips to really help you when you're starting off as assault and PvP. So we're going to take a look into a second group where I don't do so well, and I'm going to be highlighting gameplay against fighting snipers and also against fighting engineers. And I don't do a great job, as it's one of my beginning episodes or beginning playthroughs of Firefall. But assaults aren't that squishy to begin with. They start with 1400 health. I have 1412 with a buff, but in the next patch they're going to have some more run speed, some more jetpacking skills, and they're going to have less health, but they're going to be more mobile. So it's a huge trade-off. So it's gonna be worth it to pay attention to enemy snipers and stay out of the line of sight. And you can see me here just kind of sniping that engineer turret. He has no idea what's going on. That's 60-second cooldown. I'm looking for the engineer. I see that med station. Med stations go down real quick. The engineer is just standing there taking my fire, and oh, I'm gonna get him. I want to kill him. I'm overextending quite a bit by myself. He is hiding from me quite well, and I can't seem to get those plasma bullets off, so I switch to my assault rifle, and yes, I get that kill. I get a very lucky shot. It's a very close match. So again, this second match is showcase how not to play, and I also want to showcase the new skill you just saw, Overcharge. Overcharge unlocks at level 4, and it makes you do 1.25 to 1.5 times damage. So if you see me get sniped right there just because I overextend. So if you want to check out out my engineer PvP video, you'll see that one of the best ways to play engineer is bait and trap. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run right into the engineer's bait and trap. He'll set up a little turret, a little base off to the side, and I'll run right into it. And guys, as assault, you don't want to do that. And what makes this trap worse is that the recons are utilizing the engineer base. They're working as a team. We're not working as a team, and as a result, we're just going to get decimated. I run right into a turret. Guys, you know from my engineer video, you do not want to fight turrets. Turrets versus any other class, who wins? Turrets always win. Maybe Dreadnought might have a chance, but generally turrets always win. So you can see that I'm pushing the engineer base, and it's absolutely the worst thing you can do, especially if the enemy team and recon are getting covered by it. So you can see that our team is still pushing together, but what we should have done is go around the back or counter snipe. Going around the back, we can at least take out the engineers, not engineers, the recons first, and then we can start working on getting those squishier engineers, because I mean those recons, they do so much massive damage, and they're in cover and they can't do much damage. And you can see this assault, he's overextending quite a bit, he thinks he's invincible, he has no support, he's getting fired by 2 of my guys, he's taking a lot of damage, and he's just about to go down. He's got a sliver of health. He's trying to run away. He crater drops at the wrong time, and that allows me to get the killing blow on him. And oh no, but I'm in range of the engineer turret, so guys, that's how not to play. Do not overextend your assault. I know it's fun. I know it's very mobile. You can just run out and but if you run out, you're just gonna get killed. So again, the best strategy I can give against fighting engineers and snipers is to go around and attack their weak side. Kill the med stations first, they're really squishy, and work with your team. If everything you're trying is not working, what you can do is you can go sniper and resonating bolt everything to hell. You can resonating bolt the turret, the med station, and hopefully you can pick off one of their guys who stand too close to it, as some people don't realize that their grenades attached to all this. Oh, and you see me getting this sniper right here. He's out in the open, and I get him, but I'm overextending. I try to go for the execute, and I get killed by the engineer assault combo. So guys, again, that goes back to the 5 points. Do not overextend. But anyways, as I was saying, you can switch to engineer, you can resonating bolt, but that would not be a fair assault video. But you can change classes in the middle of the game. So if your team's lacking one class or another, don't feel pigeonholed into using just one class. You can switch out to medic if your team needs a medic. You can switch out to recon if you need a recon. You can switch out to engineer if you need an engineer. So guys, don't limit yourself. You're only limited by your imagination and your skill. So guys, if you think a medic would be better, and I think a medic would have been better for this map, then definitely by all means feel free to change to a medic. So if you're fighting against a lot of snipers, that's a great idea to switch to that shotgun, scattergun, alt-fire, as I mentioned before. Your first scattergun unlocks again at level 2. I didn't have the skill or knowledge to switch over my guns, but when recons are flying away, very, very hard to hit them with your plasma bolt. So switching to a scattergun can mean the difference between killing your target or getting killed by your target with them having about 200 health left. Scatterguns, again, they shoot 7 bullets at 60 damage each. So recons having only 1,000 HP each 60 damage bullet really, really hurts. And recons are so squishy, so use that to your advantage, guys. Get that scattergun, get that extra DPS in, and that might be the difference between surviving and just horribly getting decimated by the enemy team. And you can see that sniper just getting a good shot on me. I cannot snipe against snipers, especially with that assault rifle. They can just dodge in and out. So definitely, guys, don't go through a sniping war when you're assault against a sniper, unless he's completely clueless. So you can see that I tried to push out to kill the enemy snipers, and I should have actually pushed out maybe a little bit more, especially if it wasn't overextending, maybe just to the side, and maybe kill 1 or 2 snipers here and there. That would have helped out the team a lot. But I have no support, and my team just heads straight into the engineers' turrets and the sniper death trap. So there's just no way going around this. Also, as assault, you want to syntag all your enemies by syntagging your enemies, you can know where the snipers are, you can give your team a heads up, and it's just great. And you can see me overextending again. I'm trying to kill that sniper. I do, but I definitely overextend. I get killed by that assault. There's just no way that I can make any movement against this team or advances, and what happens to that sniper is that assault comes and picks them right up. So that's why overextending is also awful. So the assault PvP summary, guys: assault is excellent mobile class, capable of high DPS, the great long range and short range, scattergun and the plasma bolt, but they can get picked off by snipers, and they lack any defensive abilities, guys. They get a 4.25 new tube out of 5 PvP rating. I'm really excited to cover the new assault coming out, and you'll see the new videos coming out. So guys, stay tuned. Always, peace, love, and ninja. Peabutnutterninja signing out.